An annual report outlining the hourly income needed to meet basic household costs show that the living wage for Northern Ontario has risen almost 4% compared to last year. It's further proof that it's becoming harder and harder for people to afford the essentials. Jaden Billick has the details.
Workers in Northern Ontario now need to earn $21.10 an hour just to afford the necessities of life. That's up 80 cents over last year. But Ontario's minimum wage, now set at $17.60, is up just 40 cents. The Lakehead Social Planning Council's Bonnie Krizawati says the gap between what people make and what they need is getting tougher to bridge, particularly for Indigenous and other racialized workers who are most likely not to make a living wage.
I think if people understand that this is happening, that's part of the issue. I don't know if people really know, in the general public, that Indigenous people and racialized people are earning much less than their counterparts.
The study comes from the Ontario Living Wage Network. Communications Director Craig Pickthorne notes regional increases are up 3 to 5.3% across the province, driven mainly by housing costs, which now take up about a third of a living wage income. And interestingly, food inflation didn't play a big factor this time around.
A couple of years ago, they were spiking quite high, but not this year. So food isn't driving a lot of the costs as it was other years, and I would think that would continue into 2026. One thing the province can do is, instead of rolling back rent control, strengthen it. Like I said, rental costs are the largest slice of the living wage rate. So bring that under control, and you could actually see living wage rates not going up as much year over year.
What was really interesting to me is to see that in the north, our costs were actually quite high. In fact, our transportation costs were the highest in the region. Compared to other centres, I think we were also the highest for internet and cell phone rates. So quite alarming that in the north we are paying a lot more than, across the board other Ontarians.
For years, the Lakehead Social Planning Council has been advocating for all businesses to pay their workers a living wage. Jaden Billick, TBT News.